You ever felt like life is handing you a test, but you didn't even sign up for that class? I want to get out there and date, but emotionally I'm burned out. My relationship status is likely what it is because of me. I'm feeling unmotivated. This year has literally just been a wash. It's like, F them goals. I don't think enough people are honest about this part. And I'm sorry, but we got to talk about this. We got to talk about this. Welcome to another episode of Full Transparency Podcast with Donnie Wiggins. I am your host, Donnie Wiggins, business coach, serial entrepreneur, and just your BFF online. And y'all, I got to tell you, this is the final episode of Full Transparency for year 2024. And I have to share with you that 2024 has been kicking my ass. Literally, I've been out here fighting for my life, you guys. And typically I wouldn't do an episode like this, but this year got so real for me that I feel like I have to document it. Even more so, this year, I've been hearing from so many people, Zell, throughout the year. I've been hearing from so many people that they are also having the hardest year of their lives. Like just talking to people, and they're feeling like, you know, they're fighting for their lives. They're going through things. They're experiencing spiritual warfare. Their business is going backwards. Their relationships are suffering. Just all kinds of things, and the lack of understanding about why these things are happening. And I'm going to tell you, it's the lack of understanding, because this is a year where everything feels good. I should be at the height of happiness, right? I should be at the height of joy. I should be at the height of fulfillment. But this year, in full transparency, 2024, we are never running this back. All right. So I want to talk about some of the challenges and things that I've been facing, and maybe you can relate to me. And one of the reasons that I'm doing this is because even just this morning, I was speaking to a friend of mine who is in the process of, this year they're going through a divorce. You know, this came out of the blue this year. They are struggling in their business. They're experiencing, thing after thing. They're having a hard time with their kid. I go on Instagram and I see this young lady, a really cute entrepreneur, Christiana Hurt. I saw her. Shout out to Christiana if you watch Full Transparency. But I see her. She made a post that said, she had been literally feeling like she was fighting for her life this year. She's gone through a breakup. She was experiencing some challenges in her mental state, her emotional state, her spiritual state. And I'm scrolling through social media, Zell, and I'm seeing post after post after post, but not even just social media. I am talking to people in real life, and we're having these conversations. And I was talking to my homegirl this morning, and I'm like, yo, are we all drinking the same water or something? Like, are there hormones being placed in the water? Are there chemicals and additives being placed in the water that's making everybody just feel so low? What is it? For real, what is it? I have no idea. So let me walk you through it. For me, I found out that a part of my mental state this year has been directly impacted by a medication that I've been taking. You guys, I took you through my Accutane journey for my skin all year long, right? I started Accutane in mid-February of 2024, and I got off that medication in October of 2024. And when you get prescribed Accutane, they give you a warning. And the warning, two of the top warnings are you cannot get pregnant. So they don't even want you to have sex. But if you do have sex, they want you to use 2 forms of birth control. Okay, whatever. Cool. Then the second major warning that they give you is that Accutane has been known to cause depression. And so much so that if you've ever been clinically diagnosed with some type of a mental issue, they won't prescribe you the medication, because if you were having thoughts before on that medication, you just might do it, right? And so anyway, when I was being prescribed Accutane and they were talking about, the significant, side effects, and depression being one of them, I'm like, oh, nope, give it to me. Not only give it to me at the highest dosage, because I was struggling with my skin. You guys may know that I was struggling with hormonal acne so badly. And I had been struggling with hormonal acne for about 10 solid years. But the last 2 or 3 years, it was just out of control. And so Accutane was the last resort option for me. And I decided to go ahead and do it. And I get on this medication. I'm not concerned about depression because I'm a really, really upbeat person. I have sincere happiness internally. I tell people all the time that even when I lost everything that I owned, even when I went through foreclosures and repossessions and layoffs and just not bankruptcies, all the things, I still felt internal joy, still happy. So much so that people couldn't understand my happiness. They couldn't understand my joy when I was going through what they thought would be my rock bottom. But I was still happy. I could still smile. I could still feel motivation. I still felt excitement. But this year right here, I'm on this medication. And it's a hormonal issue. So I see the comments, the black soap wasn't doing what this needed to do. I'm on this medication and I started in mid-February. As the year progresses, I'm finding that I'm feeling unmotivated. I have a very short temper. I'm emotionally just burned out. Like inside, I want to be in a relationship. I want to get out there and date, but emotionally I'm burned out. So I can't date. I start conversations with people and I just ghost them. And I'm realizing that this year, like my relationship status is likely what it is because of me. Like I couldn't even entertain conversations. I struggled to maintain my friendships, not even to maintain them. My friends are still my friends, but I struggled to be present in my friendships. I struggled with all these things and I was just maintaining. I was just being where I had to be. And this is all year long. And it's getting worse and it's getting worse and it's getting worse. And to the point where I feel like I need to talk to somebody, right? And so I'm talking to somebody. And, I'm going through the motions of therapy and, I've been in therapy before, but this time the counseling, the therapy is just, it's not moving me. I'm not moved by it at all. There's nothing you can say to me that makes me snap out of it. I don't even feel good in that moment. I don't even feel the hype of the support that you're trying to give me. I don't feel any of it. And so now I feel like something's wrong and I'm going through the motions and I felt like, well, maybe it's menopause. Maybe it's menopause. And as I start researching menopause, I come across this term perimenopause that I didn't even know was a thing until this year. I come across this term perimenopause, which starts around age 35 for most women, starts around age 35. I come across this term perimenopause and, you got to come do this. I come across this term perimenopause and it is the premenopausal phase that shifts your hormones and you start going through these changes, right? And let me tell you something, when you are going through things, when you're going through depression, when you're not feeling yourself, when those things are reality for you, you start Googling the symptoms and it's going to tell you dying. It's going to tell you you're suffering from a severe sickness. It's going to tell you that you're about to clock out of here, right? And so I'm trying not to buy into what the internet is telling me might be happening. But this perimenopause is a thing. So I talked to my doctor, and I'm like, okay, doc, hey, and be clear, your girl is ready for menopause. Your girl is ready for menopause. So I'm convinced that this is what it is. And I go to my doctor and they ask you a series of questions. They run panels and, they're coming back and they're like, no, this isn't it. Maybe you're just stressed out. Right now, you still have regular cycles. Your hormones are incredibly balanced. Like, this isn't what's going on. We think you're stressed. You need to take a break from work. And I'm like, I'm not even working that hard because I can't snap out of it. I can't get through this feeling that I've been feeling now at this point for months. I can't get through it. And so I'm doing the research, and all I know is even my motivational messages are starting to sound hypocritical. I'm telling y'all, get up and work, get up and do it, stay focused, don't stop. And in the back of my mind, it's like, fuck out of here. In the back of my mind, I'm over here fighting for my life. And I'm telling y'all to do stuff that I just literally couldn't do myself. And I'm feeling like a hypocrite. It's sounding like sarcasm. Like, you ever felt like life is handing you a test, but you didn't even sign up for that class? I'm being tested in an area that I didn't even sign up for. I can't identify what's going on. And this is impacting me so much because I am a fixer. I solve problems. I am a solutionist. And when people come to me feeling this way, I help them get to the bottom of it. But here I am feeling this way and I can't get to the bottom of it, but I still got to show up. Hey, entrepreneur, are you looking for mentorship? Do you ever watch me here on the Social Proof podcast or on Full Transparency and say, you know what? One day I want to work with Donnie. Great news. You absolutely can. Join me inside my community, Actionable CEO, where we help to develop new habits, grow you personally, professionally, and financially, help you take massive action in your business, ultimately helping you make more money. It's just $97 a month. We meet every single week. We have a book club. We do live co-working sessions. When I'm in your city, you guys get to connect with me in person and so much more. Don't take my word for it. Go over to actionableceo.com. Check out the page and see if it's a good fit for you. If so, I'll see you on the inside. I've built a business model that requires that I show up. I built a business model that requires I put on a strong face even when I'm not feeling my strongest. And what I also love about my business model is that I get to show up in this way and not be punished for it. I get to show up in this way and still be qualified. I get to show up in this way and still be good enough while I'm working through whatever is going on. And I'm here again because this has been this year. I don't think this is, it's okay. No, I got you. Yeah. I'm here because this has been my year. I'm here because this is a lot of people's year. So we're going through the motions. Many of you guys know that I wear a heavy crown. I have the weight of the world. So it feels, let's take it all the way up, on my shoulders. My mic is falling, y'all. I wear the weight of the world on my shoulders. And many of you guys know that I'm responsible for a lot. I'm responsible for a lot. I'm a single woman. There's a lot on my plate. And so I'm doing a lot of research to try to get to the bottom of what's going on. Y'all, it was so bad that most days I couldn't even get out of bed. Like, I am looking out of my window, just watching the cars, watching the traffic. I live in a high rise. I'm just watching the traffic. I'm watching the cars. I'm sitting in silence. If I'm awake for 18 hours, I'm sitting in silence for 18 hours. There's no TV on. There's no music playing. I didn't have the strength to write in my journal. I didn't have the strength to say my affirmations. I didn't have the strength to think big, to dream big, to want more. I could only muster up enough energy to maintain. And maintaining for me this year has been showing up for my clients, fulfilling, doing the things that I am paid to do. Maintaining has been showing up for my mentorship program, showing up for the Social Proof podcast, showing up for the Full Transparency podcast. Maintaining has been showing up in this way because this is the way that brings me peace. I get lost in this room. I get lost in this environment. I get lost behind my purpose. I get lost in my purpose. I get lost serving. And so I've been doing these things, but what I couldn't do was strategize. I couldn't strategize with my own business. I couldn't figure out, like, I didn't have the capacity. I have the ability because I know the skill set, but I didn't have the capacity to sit down and strategize and tell me, this is what I need to do to get to my next level. This is what I need to do to reach my goals. So this year has literally just been a wash. It's like, F them goals. Like y'all be saying, F them kids. F them goals. I don't care about a goal because I physically couldn't. I don't know if this is a good conversation to be having with y'all right now or not, because I'm so go, go, go. I'm so take care of yourself, but still figure out a way to go. And I'm just really being honest right now and saying that I didn't go anywhere. I didn't go anywhere. So take this conversation for what it is. I just don't think enough people have this conversation. I don't think enough people are honest about this part. And I'm sorry, but we got to talk about this. We got to talk about this. I'm going through the motions. I started the Accutane in February. And we're going and we're going and we're going. And I'm noticing that when I'm in the gym, I'm sweating profusely. I've not ever been a sweater before. I'm sweating profusely. I am significant dry mouth. I just, just down. I'm not motivated by the workout. I'm not motivated to do any of these things. And so February goes by, March, April. I start feeling this way in March. April goes by, May goes by, and it's just getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. So around July, I start putting these accountability metrics in place. I recognize that this isn't normal. This isn't perimenopause. This isn't menopause. This isn't just going through a stage of just not being myself. Something is wrong with me. And if I don't find out what's wrong with me quickly, I could be at risk of tearing down everything that I've built. So we got to get to the bottom of it, right? So I'm back on the research. I'm back doing the things. I am reaching out to my friends and saying, hey, listen, this is a season that I'm in right now. If you could just work with me, co-work with me, shared some co-working days with my good girlfriend, Maya, shared co-working days with some other people. And I'm just like, hey, listen, if you can just be close to me, stay close, share with David, like, this is what I'm going through. I need you to check on me. Like, I don't know what's wrong. I just know it's not right. And I need you to check on me. I don't feel like I'm a harm to myself. I just feel like I could be giving this all away. And I'm conscious of that choice. I'm conscious of that thought, yet still doing nothing about it. It's like, Donnie, build something. And it's like, no, stay in the bed, stay on the sofa, do these things. Donnie, you want to be in a relationship. You want to date. Donnie, say yes to the date. You were invited to go on the date. Say yes. And I would say yes. And then it's like, no, cancel, do the things, whatever. It's like, Donnie, you're going for the fitness routine. You're going for the fitness goals. You're doing all the things. And eat right. I eat salad just about every day. If I'm working from home, I eat salad almost every day. Suddenly, I don't even buy snacks at home, maybe once a month. But suddenly, my pantry is full of all the cookies, full of all the cookie dough, full of all the chips, full of all the snacks. And I am actually aware. It's like I'm having an outer body experience because I know that it's happening. I can feel it. I see it happening. And I'm telling myself, girl, you better get it together. And I'd be like, getting right back in bed. And I can laugh about it now because as time would go on, I finally went to the doctor. And I said, run all the tests. Run a blood panel, check my hormone levels, run an allergy test. Just run all the tests. I want a CT scan. I want everything. Like, what's going on? And so we do all the things. And based on the way some test results came back, like for the most part, functionality, I'm fine. But based on the way some deficiencies came back, my doctor then starts asking me a series of questions. And then we get to, well, are you on any medication? Have you been taking any medication? And I'm like, no, I'm not taking anything that I hadn't normally been taking. I mean, I was on Accutane this year, but I literally just stopped that a couple of weeks ago. And they said, lead with that. Why didn't you lead with that? I didn't put it on my intake form because I had stopped the medication when they say list any medications that you're on. But apparently you go through what's called an Accutane depression, and your hormones are adjusting. Accutane suppresses certain hormones that will stop you from producing whatever happens, whatever happens when you have hormonal acne. And so because Accutane is suppressing certain hormones, my body is adjusting to it, right? But what I didn't know and what they don't tell you is that when these hormones are being suppressed, you really got to fight on the other end to support that. You have to fight on the other end. You have to figure out what nutrients and supplements you need and what routines you need so that you can be intact. And I didn't know that until I was just about off of the medication. So I was able to sit down and do some research. You know, they just want to give you all the things. Oh, you're depressed. That's all it is. You're going through the Accutane depression. Let me prescribe you an antidepressant and we'll move on, you know? And I'm like, I don't want to be on an antidepressant. I'm not a medicine girl, so I don't want the antidepressant. I start Googling things like, if you're being told that you're depressed, if you're depressed because of medication, if you're depressed because of Accutane, I'm doing searches like that. What are some natural things I can do? What are some supplements that I can take? What are some foods that I can eat to help me fight back? And that's when the shift happened. That's when the shift happened. I realized that I needed to double up on vitamin D. I had a serious vitamin D deficiency. I'm on my vitamin K. I'm on my vitamin B. You guys, if you're not taking your nutrients and supplements and your vitamins and things like that, let me tell you something. I am a believer now. I am a believer now. It wasn't lightning bolt moment, but it was a whisper that said, you're on your way back. It was a little voice that said, you're on to something now. You're on your way back. You have a chance. You can get through this. You can fight, because you sat down and you did the work to figure out what was wrong. I wasn't necessarily worried about staying in that place, because I understood that as long as I was conscious, I think it gets really dangerous when you're not conscious that there's a problem, when everybody can see it except you. I was the opposite. I could see it, but nobody around me could. People, because I had checked out on people, and here's another thing. I got really distant. From my mom, my daughter, my friends, personal relationships. I got distant, and nobody knew there was a problem. Nobody knew there was something wrong, because they're used to me being so busy that they just assumed that I was in a busy season. Meanwhile, I'm fighting for my life. And that was an eye opener for me. So I get in this mode of rehabilitating myself, bouncing back. I am on a journey. I'm taking the energy and focus supplement. I am taking vitamin D. I'm taking vitamin K. I'm taking the vitamins B and 6. I'm taking all the things, right? That has allowed me to have the energy, at least, to get out of bed. In that season, at first, I needed coffee. I'm not a coffee drinker, but I needed the, what is it in the coffee? The caffeine, but it's the espresso. Yeah, I needed the caffeine from the espresso. I needed it. Don't judge me, all right? But I couldn't get out of bed. And the subconscious part of me was saying, but you also can't fail yourself. You also can't fail the people who are depending on you and counting on you. You also can't lose everything that God has blessed you with. Like, you cannot make light of the gift that he's given you by just giving it all away. So, first step was getting my supplements together. The second step for me, and I'll put a link of all the things that I take. I see you guys on Instagram asking what brands. I don't know, but I don't know them by heart. But I will make sure that we put a link in this episode so you can know the things that I take. I am not a medical doctor. I'm just sharing with you what I did. My first step was getting my nutrition together, getting the supplements together, building myself up from the inside. My next step to feeling better was cleaning my house. Cleaning my damn house. If you guys know me, you know I'm a bit OCD. I am really neat. I'm really clean. I'm a germaphobe. I like things to be clean around me. My housekeeper would come on Monday. By Wednesday, my house is a wreck again. I'm taking off clothes if I got dressed and I'm just throwing them on the end of my bed. I am ordering takeout and the bags and the boxes are piling up. I just had no energy to do these things. If it weren't for my housekeeping team, I'm afraid of what my home would look like. I'd still be cleaning up, right? But I'm not myself. So my next step was to get my home in order. That was baby steps for me. I had to realize now that I could identify what the problem is, I wasn't fighting against the Accutane related depression anymore. I was fighting against me. It became a me versus me thing now. You know what's wrong, Donnie. You know how to fix it. You help people navigate problems every day. You create solutions for other people every day. I need you to be your own testimonial. I need you to fight harder than you've ever fought before. I need you to find your way back. And that's where we are now. It's been about 6 weeks or so that I've been feeling like me again. It's been about 6 weeks or so that I've been able to pick up my journal and write in my journal. I was able to tell when my doctor said that this was Accutane related, I did the math. I was able to just go back to my journal and look at my last journal entry. I said, wow, this is right in alignment. This is right in alignment with when I started the medication. I'm able to write in my journal. I'm able to pray. I know what to pray about. I was going to God and it was an integrity prayer, meaning I know I'm supposed to pray every day as a part of my routine, but this is really an integrity prayer. God, I don't even know what to ask for in this season. I'm grateful for everything. I'm grateful for waking up. I'm grateful for being here, but I don't even know what to ask for in this season. Everything is chaotic. Everything is a mess. I need everything better. I'm able to pray with clarity. I'm able to journal with clarity. I am able to meditate and not hear all the noise because my meditation sessions had gotten so noisy that I couldn't even do that. I am able to show up. I am able to be present. I am able to smile. I get out of the bed every day. More importantly, I make my bed again every single day. I am doing things that remind me of who I am and what I do and remind me that I'm on my way back. And that's the energy. That is the energy that I'm taking into 2025. That is the energy that I'm going into this new year with. That is the energy that I am going to take with me and rebuild every little thing. I am celebrating the rebirth. I'm celebrating the rebuild. I'm celebrating my own restoration. I'm celebrating my own restoration. And that's what I want you to get from this message today. What did 2024 teach you? Maybe you had a treacherous year. Maybe you had a year that made you feel like you're not built for this. You're not meant for this. It's not worth it. It's not valuable enough. You're not worth it. You're not valuable enough. Maybe you are stuck in a season of confusion. Maybe you are just not yourself. Maybe you don't know what's wrong with you. You can't identify it. But hopefully something that I said here has encouraged you to consider, what medications are you on? What foods are you eating? What chemicals are you around on a regular basis? What changed in your routine that could be leading to this? How's your physical fitness? How's your prayer life? How's your meditation life? How's your spirituality? How are your relationships? How closely connected are you to accountability? Like, I want you to actually ask yourself these things so we can start getting down to the root of what's wrong with us. We can start getting down to the root of what's wrong with us. And if you look at it from that perspective, you'll realize that 2024 wasn't all bad. 2024 taught us some things. And I believe that 2024 was preparing me for 2025. I feel like 2024, all of the trials, all of the tribulations, all of the negative thoughts, all of the distance, all of the isolation, all of the lack, all of the grief, all of the internal struggling and suffering that I was doing while still showing up for y'all, I feel like it was preparing me to go after what I want for myself in a big way. The relationships that I want, the love that I want, the business that I want, the health that I want, the lifestyle that I want, the relationship with God that I want, the relationship with my family that I want. It's preparation. It's preparation. It's preparation. It's preparation. I'm finally feeling like myself again. And I'm ready to show up for me again. I'm ready to show up for my business. I'm ready to show up for you. I had to put my life jacket on first. I had to put my life jacket on first so that I could find the strength. When I shared with David a couple of months ago what was going on with me, he said, "Are you going to talk about this publicly?" And at that time I said, "No, I'm not going to talk about this publicly. I don't want people," because I realized that my voice is impactful. I don't want to give anybody an excuse to stay in a season that's not serving them. But over the last couple of months, I've had a change of heart, specifically over the last few weeks. Though I don't want to give you an excuse, I want to be the evidence. I want you to watch me work. Though you couldn't tell, if you go back, there were signs. You know how we say there were always signs? We will say there were always, when something happens, we can go back and say, oh, it was right in my face. There were always signs, always signs. Y'all, there were signs that your girl was just a little off, that I wasn't at my best. I was showing up. I was doing things like, I said so many times, Zell, on the opening of the Social Proof podcast, David would say, "How's your day? How's your mental health?" And I'd say, honestly, I just don't even feel like being here today. I can't wait to get home and get back in my bed. It was real. That's how I felt. If you look at Social Proof 2020, you never heard me say that. 21, never heard me say that. 22, 23, you never heard me speak like that. But I was speaking it. I don't even feel like being here. Honestly, let's just hurry up and get through this. Let's just hurry up and get through this. I was showing up, looking. However, some days I get dressed. Some days, F it. Because I was just struggling just to show up. I want us to go into 2025 together with hope, with laughter, with determination. I want us to go into 2025 together. If I have been an evidence of success for you, I want to be the voice of hope for you in this moment. I want you to say, you know what? I am going through something. Donnie's journey has been the evidence of success, that I could build a business, that I could be a great mom, that I could take care of my family. I've been this evidence, but I want to show up for you differently. I want to show up for you in a way that I represent hope. Hope is one of the most powerful things that we can have, if not the most powerful. Hope, believe, love. Belief, love. Hope ranks highly up there in an absolute necessity for what we need to live a quality life, to live a good life, to live the life that God intends for us to live. And so right now, I want to be a representation of hope. Hope that it gets better. Hope that you can get to the bottom of it. Hope that there is a solution. Hope that there are alternative ways that you can make yourself feel better. I am a believer in nutrition. I am not a vegan. I'm not even a vegetarian. I eat good. I source my products. I read labels. I am a believer in nutrition now, if never before. I got on this regimen and I started to crawl out of this very dark place. I started to smile again. I started to glow differently. I started to feel awake. I'd look in the mirror and not even look awake to myself. I feel awake now. I feel beautiful. I feel here. I feel energetic. I feel ready. I feel motivated. I am ready. I am determined. I am hopeful. I am excited. I am me again. And I know that I have to maintain this in order to keep it going. And I am okay with that. I am okay with maintaining the habits that I need in order to keep it going. I am so solution oriented that when I realized, Zell, that something was wrong, in my mentorship community, Actionable CEO, y'all think it's for you. They think y'all think my mentorship be for you, but it's really for me. I'm talking myself through processes. I'm talking myself through stages. I'm talking myself into desirable outcomes. And so when I realized something was wrong and it was going to take a little more effort to pray, it was going to take a little more effort to journal. It was going to take a little more effort to meditate. It was going to take a little more effort to make my bed. I added a new feature to Actionable CEO, and it's called the Millionaire Morning. And it's a 15-minute call that is a prayer and motivational call. I deliver a motivational message, and one of my community members delivers the prayer. 15 minutes in and out. Because I tell you guys, when you want to understand your customer, have a deeper understanding of you. And I know that if this is what I was feeling, if this is what I needed, there's a significant chance that you might need it too. And in order for me to stay accountable to it, I had to take an idea and put it out there in a way that forces me to show up. And we've been doing that now every single morning. And so many people are being positively impacted by it, myself. But it was my way of putting my life jacket on so that I could come and save you. 2024 might have kicked my butt, but 2025, we are under reconstruction, baby. Let's go. I'll see you guys on the first episode. You'll notice that we even get a facelift in 2025. Bye.